and welcome to all of our Gold viewers who are here with us today. I'm Kristen Schwarz, licensed midwife and one of the MCs here at Gold. And today I'm chatting with Dr. Jacqueline McGrath and about her upcoming presentation titled The Power of Presence, Activities to Engage and Empower Families in the NICU. Welcome, Jacqueline.
Thank you.
It's wonderful
Great to be here.
It's wonderful to have you here. We are very excited about this presentation. I can tell you, I'm very excited about it. This is a fantastic topic, right? Engaging and empower families in the NICU. I think it is long overdue that we're really looking at this a little bit closer. I know you've been working for a very long time in this field, and you've been talking and lecturing on it for a while. So first of all, tell us a little bit where in the world you are, and tell us about your background.
So I'm in Phoenix, Arizona now. I'm a professor emeritus at UT House San Antonio. However, I'm still working in some research and also doing lots of writing around parents and parent engagement. I have most of my work over the years has been about increasing ways for parents to be actively engaged in care in the NICU environment.
Wonderful. So much great work there that you're doing. I have to tell you, when we took, and you probably have seen this in your work too. Often, families who have a little one in the NICU, it's tremendously stressful for them. It's not what many didn't know that this is. Few knew that the baby would be born early, and NICU would be necessary. Others took them by surprise through early labor, and now here they are recovering from birth. Maybe it was a traumatic birth, or and having the little one there. I can only imagine how stressful this all by itself is already on a family, right?
Yeah, I think we have to acknowledge, and I talked about that being like their worst day, how traumatic that admission is. And that's one of the reasons I like to uh, go to the NICU with someone who has never been in the environment, who maybe is not a parent, but just talk about what they see, because it helps to bring me back to what parents are seeing, and how scary that environment that we've become so comfortable is, and even how much more scary it is when it's their baby and their child, who now they, for them, newborn intensive care, even though we look at it and say, oh, this baby's going to be fine, everything's going well, for them, just the idea that their baby needs newborn intensive care can feel like, oh, my baby's going to die.
Right.
And that trauma of thinking, well, now I just had this baby, now I'm going to lose this baby, can put them into such a stressful state. And we need to acknowledge that even in what we consider the simplest of admission.
Absolutely. And one thing I hear from families who have little ones in the NICU, often they say, I didn't even feel that baby is mine. And I think you speak to this also. Sometimes, nurses in the NICU, the staff, they're seeing this as our babies, right? We're taking good care of them, and they become attached to them, of course, because, right? And for parents, often they feel like they're in the way. They don't know what they should do or can do, what they're allowed to do. Is it dangerous? Can they even, in often cases, they may not be able to touch the baby. Can they talk to the baby? Is every noise, sound, light too much? And all the interventions that happen. So it can be very confusing for parents to know, what am I doing? What can I do right? Am I doing more harm than good?
Yeah, I think that's a really important point, because parents are, first of all, so grateful that their baby is being cared for, and they don't want to do anything that would negate that. Their baby's alive, they're doing better, hopefully, they're being told they have 24-hour care. So they want to acknowledge that, and yet they also want their parenting role. And so how do we have both? How do we acknowledge the high intense care that they need to survive, but then how do we also engage parents to do what they can do? And how do we help them understand what those things are?
Absolutely. And you say it again and again. I have heard you talk that the parents are the experts on their babies, right? That's their baby, and it is so important to make the environment really friendly for the families. Now, often, and you, I mean, you've seen this in so many locations. It is not easy to accommodate the family just by space alone, right? You know, it would be ideal. I mean, I've seen it in countries like Sweden. They have full family suites where they have like the not only the babies but the families, the entire everybody can be there, can stay there for the NICU stay. That would be like a dream come true. But often we don't have that in place. So talk to us what we can do even with limited space and resources.
That's a great question. I think there is so much we can do, even with limited space, because it's about how we help them, even if when they're at the bedside, to engage, how they can be there, and what can be done even with just one chair, so that they
Mm,
can sit and hold their infant, and how they can talk to their infant, how we can use even some of the technology now for parents to engage from afar, how we help make all of these different opportunities ways to support engagement. And some of it is just about how we talk to them, how
mm,
we tell them the great things they're doing. Gee, I notice your baby responds to you better. Gee, I
mm.
notice that they're more awake when you're here.
Oh, that's
Gee, I
beautiful.
notice that you're holding them calms them down. Those may seem like little comments, but to a family, they make a big difference.
Oh, yeah, that makes me really emotional just hearing you say that because I can only imagine how what a difference that makes for our parents to say to hear that because the insecurity they must feel about now the nurses are taking care of this their baby and they're feeling like I'm not really a parent but having them giving them that confidence into yeah you are the parent look at how well you're doing and how wonderful you're doing here so it makes such a difference. What about the staff, though? I can imagine the staff, the nursing staff in the NICU is under tremendous pressure. It's they're understaffed often. They have to care for so many babies. And how can we achieve this without making the burden on the staff to a point where they say, you know what, I need to get through my rounds, I need to get through my tasks here. I really don't have that much time to what can is there without making it too much of a burden but still having a great improvement and getting the staff on board as well.
Yeah, so I think that this is a big concern, particularly since the pandemic.
Mm,
So many things changed about caregiving during the pandemic. And then now we're still, to some degree, in pandemic recovery. And staffing is a bit shorter, and nurses are more stressed and even um, bordering or at burnout. And so we need to think about this partnership as a positive thing.
mm,
Much research is coming out about compassion and how compassion actually providing it to someone else is actually healing for you as well. And so providing compassionate care, which can be about this interaction between the parent and their infant, or even how you are caregiving for the parent, can really be positive and not actually decrease your stress and add to time you might have. So there is an investment in teaching a family, but hopefully, like that communication tool I share in my
mhm.
presentation, helps us to help families to do more things, which may decrease some things the staff has to do. We shouldn't be all about the tasks. We should be all about the relationships.
Oh, I love this, all about the relationships. And if we're honest, that's why most of us and nurses and the staff got into that profession, right?
Right.
Nobody's doing this to get rich. It's all about because the passion to take care of these little ones and their families. And it really warms my heart how you talk about this topic. Before I let you go today, any final words for us and our viewers here?
Yeah, this is a journey. We have come so far in integrating families into the care in the NICU. We have learned so much. We are still on the journey and we need to keep going. We can't go back. We need to keep going. And so we need to rethink how we do care. We need to continue to learn and look at the evidence and incorporate it into practice. And we need to value parents as the expert of their infant.
Well, thank you so very much, Dr. Jacqueline McGrath. It has been wonderful having you here today, talking about the beautiful work you're doing in your community and in your research. And thank you so much for presenting with us here at Gold.
Thank you for having me.
And for our viewers now, some information, the presentation, The Power of Presence, activities to engage and empower families in the NICU is part of a brand new lecture pack that is titled Protect and Nurture Developmental Care for Neonatal Neuroprotection in the NICU. So if you would like to find out more about this lecture pack, we invite you to go to goldneonatal.com to find out more. Thank you everyone for watching and participating. Have a lovely rest of your day, everyone. Bye-bye.